Hello, this is Lorna Rasmussen, and I'm absolutely delighted that you decided to join us today. This is a short video called Success Starts Here. And the reason I call it that is that I believe that success begins with understanding where you are now. And we're going to use the Wheel of Life assessment along with the Master Dream List to do just that. These are processes that I learned years ago, and I can tell you that it made a fundamental difference in my life. I, for the first time, could see my life in a holistic way, could make good decisions about what to do, where to put my focus, how to set my goals. So this is the beginning of that entire process. You know, our life is made up of making choices. Every day we're called upon to make decisions. Will we do this or will we do that? Is this right for us? Is that right for us? And the problem is we've never been taught how to do that. At least I was never taught that. I never took a class on how to make a good decision. And yet what I began to notice was that the most successful people that I came upon were all very good decision makers. They would make fast, good decisions, positive decisions for them. And rarely would they change their mind. Whereas people who were not so successful were really questioning themselves, double guessing, wondering if they were making the right decision, oftentimes changing that decision over and over again, and doubting themselves. Well, this is a good sign for those types of people. It says, be decisive, right or wrong, make a decision. The road of life is paved with flat squirrels who couldn't make a decision. And I know we've all seen a squirrel like that. You know, do I go left? Do I go right? Oh my God, here comes a car. And, you know, if they don't make the right decision, they'll never make another decision. Well, we don't want that for you. We want you to be able to make good, fast, positive decisions because we have so many opportunities in our life. And wouldn't it be great if when we saw those opportunities, we knew which ones to take. We knew which ones were right for us, which were wrong for us, which ones we should do now, which ones we should put off. These are the kinds of decisions that could fundamentally change our lives. And it's not easy because of our busy lives. It's not just us in isolation making these decisions. For many of us, we have a lot of other people in our lives. It might be people at work, it might be people in our family, it might be other outside activities that we're doing. There's a lot going on in our lives. So our lives, as they become more complicated, it becomes more and more difficult for us to know where we should go, how we should go, what we should do, when we should start, when we should stop. All of these things affect the kind of quality of life that we're going to have. So let's get started on our journey to success by answering that question, where are you now? Think about it. Anytime you take a trip, anytime you take a journey, even if you go to the mall, you need to know where you're starting from in order to find out how to get to the place you want to be. Isn't that right? So the first thing we do, for instance, in going into a mall is find the map and look for the "You Are Here" sign. Once we know where we are, we can figure out how to get to the place we're looking for. And that's true on any map, on any journey. But this is our map of life. It's called the Wheel of Life. And we're going to use this in that exact same way. We're going to evaluate where we are individually at this moment in time. So I put you down at the center of this wheel because you are the only person who has the information and the right to judge where you are right now. I know there's lots of people in our lives who are constantly making assessments of us, telling us whether we're doing good or bad in certain areas of our life. Our parents, our bosses, friends, whatever. But really, we're the only ones who know and have the right to make that kind of a judgment. So you are at the center. That's a 0 at the center. And as you go out towards the rim, the numbers increase to a 10. Now, these are areas of life. You can interpret them any way you'd like to. What's important here, though, is understanding that if you can get that wheel round and as big as possible, that's going to give you balance in your life. That's going to give you a sense of certainty in your life. You know, I've done this thousands and thousands of times, and I've rarely seen, in fact, I can only think of one where somebody marked a 10 in each area. For most of us, one or other of our areas is out of whack. And that's what this is going to show us. It's going to show us where our opportunities to work on ourselves exist. So let's get started. We're going to look at the physical and health area first, just because I think that's one that everybody can relate to. So I'm going to do that with you and then let you do the rest on your own. So let's say for myself in the physical and health area that I feel I'm above average, I'm going to mark myself as a 6. And that's because I eat well and I get lots of rest and I go to the doctor and all that good stuff. But I don't exercise enough. So I've got lots of room for improvement between a 6 and a 10. But that's where I am in physical and health. So now go along and mark where you feel you are on each of these areas of your life. And don't think too much about it. Just go ahead and kind of go on your gut instinct, because your gut probably knows exactly where you are in each of these areas of your life. Okay, now what we're going to do is the fun part. We're going to join the dots. And that gives us a picture of our life. Now, in this example, the wheel is kind of flat on two sides, so it's going to be a bumpy ride down the highway of life, isn't it? But what it also indicates are some areas, major areas, that I need to work on. If this is an example of mine, if I'm working in these areas, looking at myself in these areas, I know that the financial and career area is an area I really need to work on. Maybe I've spent a lot of time with my family, that got that just doing great, but as a result, my financial and career area suffered. That's usually what happens. That's how we get out of balance. And the whole goal here is to put ourselves in balance. We want to be in a balanced life. And that means that we've got a rounder wheel. Now, it might be smaller at first as we work on areas, because as you look at this, if you put time in your financial and career and effort in that area, you're probably going to lose a little in your family and home. But that's just part of the process. What's interesting about this is because you are aware of it, because you know you're doing that, that's when you can go through these changes and start to make these changes and feel in control of your life and feel okay about it. So again, what we're trying to do is look at this wheel in areas where we can create a greater balance in our life by changing things in our life. So here's the question that I want you to answer. And I'm going to have you start writing these things down. You can write them on the wheel, or you can pull out your master dream list and start writing them there. But the question that I want you to answer is, how would things be different in my life if I was out at a 10? So for instance, in the financial and career, what would be different? What would I be doing? How would I be doing it? What things would look different? And give yourself a couple of years out. You don't want this to happen instantaneously. It won't happen instantaneously. And write down some things. If your life was perfect, if everything was going the way you wanted it to, what would be different in those areas of your life? And again, what we're looking for is adding to the areas that will create balance. And you can start writing these on your master dream list. Put a date, because I want you not just to do it today. I want you to do it day after day after day. Keep adding. And it's basically your dreams to your master dream list. And then mark down the area of the wheel that it's in. And I'll give you a minute to start on this process, and we'll go on. So put me on pause if you want to continue, or just go with me till the end and you can come back and start filling that in. Basically, think about the things that are important to you. And that the list that I had, I know I needed exercise, so maybe going for walks in the mountains, or going to the beach more, or in the financial and career area, I'm going to add starting a business. Or I might say, but I still want to have time with my family. So I'm going to add things to that list that are going to give me basically a perfect life. What's going to really impact my life the way I want my life to be? And basically what you're doing is you're writing it down. Just keep writing. Create that list of your dreams, because And this is what Napoleon Hill says about our dreams. He says, cherish your visions and your dreams, as they are the children of your soul, the blueprint of your ultimate accomplishment. What I take that to mean is that without your dreams, without this dream list, you can't go forward and really have the life that you want. This is the foundational process that you need to go through in order to start setting goals and achieving goals in your life. So I hope that you've really taken a lot from this, and that this has helped you, that you'll continue writing in your master dream lists, keep adding to it. But I know you probably have the same question I had when I started doing this process. How do I turn these dreams into goals? They sound great on paper. I hope that they'll happen. I'd love it to happen. I'd love to start my own business, or I'd love to get to the beach more, or I'd love to have more time with my family. But how do I turn these into concrete goals? And so I want to offer you an opportunity to continue working with me if you'd like to, because I know that this is something that takes a lot more in-depth work to really start turning dreams into goals and accomplishing those goals. And I want to invite you to work with me if you'd like by offering you an opportunity to go on a success journey. It's a video masterclass. And in that class, you'll learn how to develop an in-depth look at where you are now. We started that in a kind of cursory way, but I want to dive deep into that to really help you get to know yourself. Then how to create a plan where you'll be within the next 5 years. In other words, not just a few little goals that you're going to accomplish in the next 6 months, but really look at and map out an opportunity for yourself over the next 5 years. Then how to make fast and positive decisions. Again, I told you about how important that is. What you'll find is once you start making those decisions, it gives you a sense of power and control in your life that, for me at least, it was a real revelation that I can truly say to people, I'm making a decision, this is my decision, and you can go to the bank on it. It changes your relationship with people as well, because they come to trust you and your decision-making process. It enables you to go more into a leadership position. And it really develops confidence in you. And so that's what part of the process that we'll look at, along with how to motivate yourself. We're going to hopefully write some really big goals and create some really big dreams. Well, you've got to have motivation to get over the rough spots as you go on this journey. And then we're going to create balance in your life, because that's the ultimate goal of setting your life on a path. You don't want to, at least I hope you don't want to be all work and no play, or all play and no work. We want to have balance in our lives. And finally, that whole process of turning those dreams into goals. All of this will be covered in this video masterclass, and it'll include a digital workbook, but I want to do more for you than that. I also want to invite you to have a 30-minute consultation with me on goal setting. I think this is one of my areas of expertise. I've worked with the best of the best in that area, Paul J. Meyer, and I want to help you either before you get started, or following when you're in the process, or after you've taken the classes, on how to help you set your goals, to get over any of the rough spots, to answer any of your questions. So that's a free 30-minute consultation with me. And then, and I'm so excited to announce this, I have redone the book, The Absolute Best Way for Women to Make Money. This is an ebook, and along with it is a 25-page workbook. So this will give you even more in-depth help on how to set goals and achieve goals in your financial area. It is all about the financial area, but believe me, you will find yourself really being helped to understand how to do this in every area of your life through that. Now, for the class itself, And the workbook, I would normally charge $187.57, but I want this to be available to everybody, so I want to put it at a cost that I think everybody can afford, and that's, for the next little while, I'm going to be offering this to you at $57.57. So I hope that that's something that you are willingly take advantage of. I'd love to work further with you. And you can simply go to lornarasmussen.com/video masterclass to take advantage of this. I have enjoyed our time together. I want to thank you for taking it, and I want to wish you the very, very best, regardless of what happens in the future. Let's keep in touch, and let's keep working on our goals on this journey of success.